A new type of banner will be available starting from version 4.5, the Chronicled Wish. The Chronicled Wish banner will allow travelers to obtain a variety of characters such as Klee and Deely. They'll also be able to obtain weapons such as Hunter's Path and Wolf's Gravestone. You can chart a specific course for the character or weapon that you want. Plus, it only takes a maximum of 1 fate point to guarantee your target.
Oh wow, this new banner actually looks pretty cool. Congrats to Genshin Impact for actually do something generous for once in their entire existence. Hey, round of applause for the Genshin developers actually giving us something generous instead of being stingy bastards like they always are. I'm very impressed. I'm really excited to hear more about this banner so I can learn just how generous it actually is.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
I shouldn't have got my hopes up. What is up, guys? This is Giuseppe here, and yeah, I am not a fan of this banner. Now, here's the thing. The concept of this banner actually is really good. To have older, limited characters that aren't as popular, like Eula, Albedo, Klee, and just having them on here is very good. It'll allow people who have been waiting for their reruns to finally obtain these characters. People like me, I've been waiting for Albedo for a long time. So for me, I was like, oh, I can't wait to finally get Albedo. And it also allows you to get their signature weapons, the standard 5-star weapons, and even Tainari and Dia's signature weapons are on here. Now, putting aside the fact that Tainari and Dia's weapons should have been put on the standard banner when they were put on the standard banner, this is a good idea. Having this banner that allows people to obtain older characters is a way for people to be more incentivized to spend money on Genshin Impact to get these characters, especially since there's a guaranteed chance of getting these characters. And it allows free-to-play players to feel more rewarded for their saving, and people who have saved for a long time are going to feel more rewarded by the saving. That's great. I'm glad that they're adding this banner and having a generous method of obtaining old characters in the game. That's great. You know, Honkai Impact has done this for a while, and it's great to see that Genshin is finally taking notes from its Honkai predecessors. And then I read the info, and all of that changed. Firstly, it uses intertwined fates. Now, this on its own doesn't sound like a bad thing until you consider two key things. One, you get more acquaint fates per patch than you do intertwined fates. And two, you're spending those intertwined fates on new characters and new weapons. So unless you just hate every new character that's come out, you're spending a ton of wishes on a banner that doesn't even have the same pity. All of those pulls that you might have been saving up for Clorinde, or for Farina's rerun, or Nivelette's rerun, or for Arlecchino, you now have to choose whether you're going to keep saving for the new shiny new character, or if you're going to pull on this banner and get the Albedo, or the Klee, or the Eula that you've been trying to get for the last 3 years. This is not a good marketing choice. If this used Acquaint Fates, people would be able to save their standard wishes and spend them on this banner and feel like they're actually working towards something with their standard wishes, as opposed to the current standard banner, which just kind of feels like a complete waste of time. Now, grievances with the normal standard banner and its issues aside, because that's not what this video is about, that's not even where the problems with this new banner end, because they also decided that this new type of banner doesn't keep your guaranteed. Firstly, it's not a 50-50 like every other banner is. It is a 1 in 6 chance for the character and a 1 in 11 chance for the weapon, not even a 50-50. And if you lose, you have to go to pity again. So it essentially is the same as a character banner. Only difference is not being on guaranteed doesn't make it 50%. It makes it a 1 in 6 chance or a 1 in 11 chance, respectively. And if that wasn't bad enough, guaranteed doesn't carry over because there is no guaranteed. And because it's using fate points, just like with the weapon banner, when the banner ends and a new banner comes out, the fate points reset, which means if you don't get the character initially and you're up to 1 fate point and then you don't get the character before the banner ends, you don't get to carry that fate point over into the next banner for the next character. You basically get set back to 0. Yes, you keep the pity, but you're still not on the guaranteed, which means strategically pulling on this banner long term is going to be worse than pulling on the regular limited banners. You could make the argument that this is more advantageous than the weapon banner, but I beg to differ. Yes, it requires 2 fate points to guarantee the weapon that you want, but you still have a higher chance of getting the weapon you want initially, because it's a 50-50 chance to get one of the 2 banner weapons and then a 50-50 chance between those 2, which means it's a 25% chance or a 1 in 4 chance to get that weapon, as opposed to this banner, which is a 1 in 11 chance. So, slight editor's note here. I said in the video that it was a 1 in 6 and 1 in 11 chance for the weapons, but if you actually take a look here, it says that there is a 50% chance it will be the designated item. So, sorry about that. It's still a 50-50. I don't know why I assumed it was higher than that. I guess because it just made sense in my head. I guess that's what I get for just skimming instead of reading this all the way through. Anyway, back to the video. So it's worse than the weapon banner in terms of rates, with the only thing making it better is that it's 1 fate point instead of 2, and it's objectively worse than the limited character banner, while requiring the same currency as said limited banners. Why? Standard wishes were right there, the standard banner sucks, and this would have been a perfect way to incentivize players to spend money for acquaint fates, because now players are just going to take the earnings that they got for their characters and just keep spending on their characters. They're not going to pull for these old characters when they can instead pull for the new character that's going to be better, unless again they just really like one of the older characters. Now, if you're one of those people who really wants Eula, really wants Albedo, really wants Klee, really wants Jean, sure, I understand. If you are willing to sacrifice 180 pulls to guarantee that unit you want, go for it. But unless you have 180 pulls, you cannot guarantee that you will get what you want. While you could make this argument for the limited character banner as well, the difference there is that your guaranteed transfers over. So if you lost your 50-50 before the banner rolled over, you're now on guaranteed and you only need 90 wishes to guarantee the character. But with this banner, even if you go all the way to 100 pulls, 150 pulls, and you don't get the character you're desiring, all that progress goes away and you're no longer on guaranteed when the banner rolls over. And if you are a new player, or if you are a returning player or a veteran player, I would not recommend this banner unless you just really, really, really do like one of these characters. And even then, why would you pull for one of them when you can pull for Neuvillette or Kazuha, who are in the second half of the same patch? Neuvillette alone is better than all 6 of these characters put together, and so is Kazuha. This was a terrible business decision by Hoyoverse, and I'm not a business person. I've never been a business person. So maybe there's some secret sauce magic that I don't know about. Who knows? 4.5 will come out. Maybe the sales will be better. Maybe their revenue will shoot up like $100,000 bajillion dollars. Or maybe it won't. And maybe it'll continue to stagnate, continue to decline, continue to be worse. I mean, even Farina didn't sell nearly as well as the other Archons. I shouldn't have ever had hope that Genshin would be generous. It's just a fact that Genshin is a stingy game, and it really upsets me to see the game that I've loved for the last 2.5 years be so greedy and so disrespectful to its players. I want to enjoy playing Genshin again, and I want to feel like the developers have respect for their players. I know Genshin can be better, and I know the developers have what it takes to be more generous. But they won't, and I don't understand why. Again, I love Genshin, I really do. But it's hard for me to continue to support the game when the developers don't support us. And I hate to say that, because I love Genshin. Anyway, I'd like to apologize for making such a depressing video, but I felt like this had to be talked about. I felt like I had to call out Hoyoverse on their bullshit and just kind of hopefully get the point across to you all why this banner isn't great. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Giuseppe. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, leave a like, leave a comment on your thoughts on this banner. I'm really curious to hear if you agree or disagree, give your reasonings, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace out.